All right, son. A Family from Guatemala by Julia Waterlow. Go ahead.
A religious family. Lucia is very religious. She often goes to pray at an altar to the village saint San Antonio del Monte. On the altar there are candles, religious pictures, and flowers. Each year, a different family in the village is allowed to have the altar in its house. Lucia believes that the saint looks after the village. Lucia and other villagers pray at this altar. It is kept at a neighbor's house. Religion. Guatemalan people are Christians. There are churches in nearly all towns and villages. Some Maya also pray to their own gods of rivers, mountains, rain, and corn.
They pray to the corn god.
Our biggest festival in our Saint's Day is in June. Everyone comes out on the streets to watch the colorful parades. Lucia. The future. Vicente and Lucia would like the children to stay at school for many more years, but as soon as Mario, Olivia, and Maria are old enough, they will need to help with all the work. Mario wants to be a farmer and weaver like his dad.
Farmer and weaver?
Yeah. The Calapes are happy with their work and way of life. Of course, it would be nice to have more money. Most of all, they would like to have a television set. Mario likes reading, but he will soon have to leave school to help his father. It would be nice to have some new things for the house, Lucia. That's it.
That's the end of the book?
Mm-hmm.
Very good, son. You can meet this family if you go to Lake Atitlan. There might be a son or a grandchild already your age. So, I was telling you about Rambo.
Yes, you were.
Rambo was the soldier that came back from the Vietnam War.
Yes.
And the United States had this war in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And the war was about communism and freedom. All right?
Yeah.
So Vietnam ended up being divided. Divided by what?
By the war?
Yeah, by the Civil War. But it was a civil war, but it was fought between Russia. They represented the communists, and the United States that represented what? I think the word is freedom or democracy.
Oh.
All right.
What's all these?
So Rambo was not liked when he came back from Vietnam, but he represents most of these United States soldiers.
Uh-huh.
They didn't want to go to Vietnam. Nobody knew where it was. If you grow up in the United States, you're famous for not knowing about geography. Somebody said that the United States teaches people geography, their citizens geography, by having a war in that country.
What?
Yeah, nobody knew where Korea was, and then what happened? The Korean War. Then nobody knew about Vietnam, then the Vietnam War. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So Rambo tells a story, and one of your uncles, I won't mention his name, he's the one that joined. Yeah, upload those videos, man.
I don't know what to call them.
Just anything. Daniel. Boom. Daniel 1. Daniel 2.
Okay.
Make it happen before my trial. My trial is on the 18th. So the other story I was telling you about was Pinocchio. Pinocchio was a boy made out of wood, but he got a wish and he became a real boy. But before that happened, he played with the boys that didn't want to go to school. And in that movie, they became donkeys or burros or stubborn and...
Do your YouTube thing. I restarted my device, remember, so it doesn't know you.
All right, I will in a moment. So in Pinocchio, he hangs out with the boys that don't want to learn anything. And back then, you used to go to school to learn things.
Is it down to a teacher, by the way?
Yes, it is. And now, if you want to learn something, you got to do it on your own. It's almost like the reverse. If you go to school, you don't learn. What are you learning? Harry Potter? You see?
Yeah.
You see how I don't value it?
Oh, no.
Learn carpentry.
I finished a book and Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
What?
finished a book and I took the reading counts test, 37 points. Now I have the last date of reading counts was today. Now I have 271. Eva has 500 something.
All right. Now I can give you a trophy. Oh, you're the fastest runner in the world. Oh, that's nice. But how are you going to earn a living? How are you going to build a house? You don't know carpentry. You're going to be working at $1 an hour as a wage slave is what they call it. You want to be standing in a corner holding a sign called bumvertising? Have you seen them? So that's why I'm strict with you, and I tell you, you got to learn something. A skill. Like Booker T. Washington said, skilled hands. Intelligence, you have it. Skilled hands, you need it. You don't have it yet. And the third thing is what? Morality. You have morality, but it can be changed. You know how? Well, will you fire a guy? What are you going to do if you're the security guard and they tell you don't pay the gardener?
And you're at the cashier thing?
No, you're the security guard there, and the gardener says, "I'm here to pick up my check. I just finished cutting." And then you call up the manager of the building, and he says, "Call the treasurer." And then you call up the treasurer, and the treasurer answers and says, "Tell him to go home. We're not going to pay him." Then the gardener says, "What did she say?" Or "What did the treasurer say?" And then you, as the security guard, what do you say?
I say she's gonna pay him.
No, you're not going to lie. The treasurer said, "We're not going to pay him." Now you see how morality becomes? You became the voice of the bad person. You see?
Mm-hmm. What do you say after that?
He said, "No se preocupe." And he left. But then I felt bad about it. You see? The rich people, they hire other people to do bad things for them. They get other people to do it. Sometimes. So if you want to be if you're going to be a slave, you might as well be a slave for God. Did you see Uncle Tom's Cabin?
No.
In that movie, the slave, Uncle Tom, is ordered to whip an old woman that can't lift a bag of cotton.
And he carries 2 of them.
And instead, he carries both bags.
200 pounds.
So then what happens?
You get whipped.
The white owner is a bad man, and he orders another slave to whip Uncle Tom. And Uncle Tom took it. Eventually died from the whipping. Now it's just a movie, but it explains to you that even if you're a slave, there are things that you will not do. What will you do as a slave? Will you whip an old woman?
No.
Can't carry a bag?
No.
All right, then a wise son listens to his father. That's in the book of Proverbs. Spend your time learning something useful. Like right now, I was telling you about the soldering gun. We need to learn how to use it. You gotta have skilled hands. All right, I love you. That's why I'm strict with you. Don't spend your time with people that don't want to learn. People that waste their time. Don't spend your time with them. All right? Learn those 3 things: intelligence, skilled hands, and morality. The Bible teaches you how to have wisdom. And if you learn wisdom, if you get wisdom, you will have courage. And if you put in enough time, you will learn how to be a carpenter. But it's hard work. People are going to say, no, don't hurt your hands. Fine, don't hurt your hands. But Jesus was a carpenter. At least he could make a chair, a house. You need to learn how to do those things.